everyone, I'm Bella. Today I will bring you the speculative future of the film Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets. It will consist of introduction, two different main scenes, and conclusion. In the 28th century, the International Space Station expanded as a result of cooperation between Earth's nations and aliens. The booster moves the space station deep into space, which becomes Alpha. This is a city that spans space and is home to millions of creatures from thousands of planets. A world government made up of federations of nations around the world, called the United Nations Federation of Humanity, has created a special police unit to maintain peace throughout the galaxy. The film features Major Valerian and the Sergeant Valerian of the United Nations Federation of Humanity. Valerian, the man at the top of the poster, is conceited but optimistic, while Valerian is the woman in the middle, serious and professional. Their commander is a selfish man under Valerian, called Aaron Phillips. Humans and many alien races live together in a bustling interstellar metropolis called Alpha, the city of a thousand planets, which for hundreds of years has been a wonderful paradise for the peaceful coexistence of all ethnic groups. However, the mysterious dark forces of the universe are trying to destroy it all. Valerian and Valerian were chosen as Alpha's interstellar agents and as security department executives, and were appointed to intercept the trade in a rare item. This rare object has a mysterious connection to a real ethnic group that should have disappeared decades ago. Then they arrived in a huge floating city of Alpha, where their commander Aaron Phillips was kidnapped from the command center, and the pair began to realize the unusual value of the item in their hands. They follow the killer to the death in the heart of Alpha City and find themselves caught up in an interstellar event that is fermenting. Eventually, they need to control the object in their hands that can change the order of the universe, and rescue Aaron Phillips before other species are rolled in. Now I bring you the analysis of the first major scenario. Movies use virtual modeling lens in-depth progress to show the audience the full picture of the city of thousands of planets, Alpha. Watch this short video and I will give you a detailed look at the design elements represented in the scene.
Welcome to Alpha, the city of 1,000 planets.
Alex, can you update us?
I'd be delighted to. The Alpha station has grown 7% this year. And since it left the terrestrial orbit, it has traveled almost 700 million miles.
Population?
Almost 30 million. 3,236 species from the four corners of the universe live on board, pooling their knowledge and cultures. Over 5,000 languages spoken, not counting the various computer languages.
Okay, let's look at the first screenshot scene. This is a suspended city in outer space with multiple domestic elements. Most people travel here by aircraft, but once inside, they don't experience weight loss due to indoor pressure treatment devices. The film was originally intended to depict a city in space, which is likely to be the practice of the future world in exploring space. With land resources now scaled in some large cities, The use of suspension technology to build suspended communities above cities is also expected. This is a scene from the indoor aircraft parking lot. Participants can complete the maintenance, charging, and other functions of the car body in this space. The biggest benefit of the indoor parking lot in the movie is that it avoids the user's inability to adapt to the difference in air pressure between indoor and outdoor. Here, after the users enter the cabin, the aircraft automatically adjusts the pressure and then enters the orbit. Filmmakers aim to provide high-tech, convenient, and private parking spaces for residents. The film shows a scene of an indoor control home. The most prominent design element here is the large, overhanging, and transparent display screens. They maximize space savings or display a variety of information at the same time. The operating room of empty and multi-display displays is essentially a means of obtaining information efficiently. It also suggests that producers tend to be in the home of the future, that communication should be efficient and simple, and that interior to screen decoration should be super thin and space-saving. The film also features scenes of indoor fruit and vegetable cultivation. Due to the lack of suitable environmental resources for growth in space, such as climate, soil, water, and so on, setting up an indoor planting site can guarantee the air and quality of vegetables and fruits. Even if you are not in space, there is a lot of land on Earth that doesn't fit in fruit growth. The film also argues that if domestic fruit cultivation can be achieved, the shortage of land can be elevated and unsuitable planting conditions can be addressed. Next, there is another scene on Earth. Watch this video that summarizes the panorama. Alright, the biggest feature of this scene construction is that it is a city invisible to the naked eye. In order to resist the intrusion of foreign enemies, only by wearing special glasses can people see and enter this world. This reminds me of a kind of sanctuary that is very hot in the United States recently. It and the hidden buildings in movies are essentially domestic designs that people seek to avoid disasters. This kind of well-concealed housings can provide a domestic place to resist virus, wars, and natural disasters, and so on. The next scene is an overview of the urban structure. It has an open space in the middle and the surrounding buildings extend upward along the middle. This design makes it convenient for residents who take the aircraft to have enough space to enter and park. The means of communication between residents on both sides of the street is a bridge. The domestic space is open and not closed. It can be believed that the film hopes to create an interoperable and open domestic indoor pattern while also facilitating the travel of participants. The last scene is a very childlike domestic space. This may be a toy room designed by the filmmakers. Here is mainly composed of dark blue and purple. The color of toy installation and the color on the floor are similar, forming the overall harmonious tone. Domestic furniture adopts sleek edge lines with large and small shapes on the top and bottom to create an animated atmosphere in the room. In conclusion, Alpha, the city of 1,000 planets in the film, and cities invisible to the naked eye on Earth are all reflections on the future of the city and the home. In the future world, human beings need to solve the problem of shortage of land resources. Suspended cities and invisible cities are very visionary thinkings. The film also highlights the participants' vehicles, aircraft, travel and parking in several scenes. In the future, with the automation and technology of vehicles, they can be fully charged and maintained in the domestic space. The filmmakers emphasize the safety of these scenes, which consist of multiple layers of security doors, intelligent identification, and a specific spectacle visual system. Domestic features need to consider security issues such as natural disasters, resource shortage, virus transmission, and the threat of war. So the domestic feature must put security at the fore. Although the film doesn't address enough issues of education and privacy in the domestic life, it gives a critical analysis of the future of domestic security, the changes in transportation modes, and the way humans respond to limited land resources. That's all. Thank you.